Hi, friends. It's Friday and Sunday's coming. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday. As we gather for worship, we have a wonderful worship service planned for you this week. Bishop Trimble and the conference superintendents, members of his cabinet who work with him, have prepared a worship service for us for churches throughout the conference to use. It gives the pastors a bit of a respite from our efforts to get up and running and figuring out things in the midst of the COVID crisis. And it's also a wonderful opportunity to hear Bishop Trimble, hear his words of encouragement and inspiration. So I hope to see you on Sunday. We'll gather for usual at 9:30 and be able to greet each other through a Zoom call, and then be able to watch the worship service together and have some time for a little bit of discussion afterward. The Sunday school classes will meet as usual before and after worship, as you have been doing, and I look forward to this time together. We have some wonderful leaders. We have our bishop and the conference leaders are all working very hard to help assist churches in the midst of this crisis. We also have wonderful leaders in our local church. Our trustees met last night. They're working to prepare procedures and plans for us to be able to gather in person again, probably in early July. So we're really grateful for that leadership. Some of them have worked through some of these issues in their own job places, and that's a great gift. And we're just really grateful for that leadership. The church council will meet next week, and we'll continue to finalize those plans for us to be able to gather safely in person. But I also want you to know that we will continue to provide online worship. We will have either streaming or recorded services that will be available to you week by week. So, although we are anxious to gather again and to be together, we also know that it's important for everybody to be able to be comfortable. And if you're not comfortable coming to worship in person, when we're able to do that, we want to that we know that that gathered body continues to be out there, and we want you to be able to be safe and stay at home. For those who do feel comfortable, we want them to be able to have a place to gather safely. So we're working on those things, and again, I'm really grateful for our leadership, for because each person, as we think this through, is trying to do what's best for our congregation as we continue to live faithfully as disciples of Jesus Christ, to carry out our motto of loving God, loving others, and passing that on. So we have a responsibility to our community, to one another, to do that as well as we possibly can, and to seek out God's guidance and leadership in all things. I do want to say just a word about our building. Annette Kleeman, our custodian, continues to keep it very clean and to have it presentable and sanitized for whoever is able to come into the building. And she's done some deep cleaning, and we're really grateful to her for her ongoing work, helping us care for the building. There is some outdoor work that will be done. The trustees have made some plans to take care of some of the beds, weeding and that sort of thing. So if you're interested in that kind of work and would like to assist, we are trying to coordinate that to make sure we don't have too many people on the grounds at once. But if you're interested in helping, don't hesitate to contact Georgia Harris and let her know so that she can coordinate that effort. I planted marigolds this morning to have a nice backdrop to this video recording, but of course my backdrops never seem to work out the way I expect, so I'll just have to show you a picture of the marigolds. You know, the Bible is consumed really with the concept of healing. Many of the Psalms talk about healing. Indeed, Psalm 31 says, my life is consumed with sadness. My years are consumed with groaning. Strength fails me because of my suffering. My bones dry up. The word for healing in Greek is the same word as for salvation. And so we know that God is intimately acquainted with our bodies, how they work, what we need for strength and for healing and for wholeness. But throughout the biblical witness, we have always heard things like, but I trust you, O God, I affirm that you are my God. And Paul was famously noted for talking about God's grace being sufficient in all things. He said, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me." This is a time in which we are experiencing some weakness, some struggle. We worry about many things. We worry about the economy. We worry about people having jobs. We worry about people having the grace to deal with all that's happening non-violently in the midst of in trying to shore each other up and care for each other. But we know that's very difficult, and so we struggle. Uh, I think one of the great gifts of the church is that we can acknowledge that. We can help our communities lament and also to experience the hope that God's grace is sufficient for us, that even in this time of weakness, God will give us strength and hope and possibility. So that is our hope this week. That is what I hope that you carry into the weekend as you have a different kind of Memorial Day weekend, a quieter one perhaps, but one in which you trust in God and come to worship with that sense of peace, the sense of calm, the sense of gratitude for all that God is giving to us and is doing in our lives. It is Friday, friends. Sunday's coming. I look forward to worshiping with you on Sunday. May God's peace be with you always. See you later.